What if you woke up tomorrow and Malaysian football had completely vanished? No clubs, no national team, no players, nothing. Just gone. And what if you were given the responsibility to rebuild it from scratch? This isn't just a thought experiment. This is a conversation about what Malaysian football should be and how far we've strayed from those ideals. Today we're breaking down a fascinating discussion that reimagines Malaysian football from the ground up. And trust me, the solutions proposed here are both radical and brilliant.
Let's dive in.
The scenario presented here is inspired by the film Yesterday, where a struggling musician wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed, but instead of music, we're talking about Malaysian football disappearing completely. No NFDP, no FAM structure, no history, just a blank slate. And the question is simple but profound. How would we rebuild Malaysian football if we could start over? The conversation we're analyzing today tackles this head-on, and it starts with a foundational concept that challenges everything about how Malaysian football currently operates. The first major proposal is revolutionary. Build football around towns and cities, not states. Here's the exact quote.
Saya rasa benda pertama yang saya akan lakukan adalah membina bola sepak dari perspektif bandar.
Building football from the perspective of cities and towns. This idea comes from a book written by Lucius Maximus about 10 to 15 years ago. The concept is simple but powerful. Imagine football based on your actual community, not just your state. Think about it. In Germany, England or Spain, your local club is literally in your community. The stadium might be a 10-minute walk from your house. As the discussion points out,
Contohnya di Germany, right? Bila hang menonton sebuah pasukan yang mewakili kota hang, there is a strongest sense of connection disebabkan stadium itu dalam radius 10 km daripada rumah hang.
Compare that to Malaysian football today. Someone living in Tanjung Malim is supposed to feel connected to Perak FA, but Tanjung Malim and Ipoh are far apart. How can you build a community around a club when attending a match requires significant travel? Now here's where it gets controversial. How do you fund these community clubs? The proposal: make it a responsibility of local municipal councils, DBKL, MBSA, MPSP, and others, to oversee youth and community development through football. I know what you're thinking. Why should taxpayer money go to football clubs? But here's the counter-argument, and it's compelling. The discussion references how privatization of Malaysian football created chaos, where state-funded clubs were suddenly seen as problematic. Yet,
kalau selagi jumlah yang diberikan kepada mereka selari dengan perkembangan komuniti dan juga perkumpulan masyarakat, a sense of purpose dan juga a sense of collectiveness dan rasa sayang kepada tempat tersebut dituai oleh negeri tersebut, then why not?
this is essentially treating football clubs as community infrastructure, like parks or libraries. They serve a public good. But here's the critical safeguard. Fans and community members must own 51% of the club. This is non-negotiable in this reimagined system. The remaining 49% can be owned by associations or municipal councils, but not by a single individual. Why 51%? Because as the discussion emphasizes,
keputusan-keputusan itu harus diambil berlandaskan apa yang dimahukan oleh 51% pemilik terbesar, iaitu para penyokong.
even if the municipal council contributes funding, they can't make decisions without community approval. This prevents what has plagued Malaysian football for decades: clubs being used as political tools or vanity projects. When politics change, funding disappears, clubs collapse. But with community ownership, the club belongs to the people who actually care about it. This is the German model, and it works. Every registered club, regardless of level, must have one pitch for matches and one pitch for training. The capacity doesn't matter. 50,000 seats? Great. 500 seats? Also fine. No stands at all, just people sitting on the grass, like at school tournaments? Perfectly acceptable. There's a beautiful example given here. FC United of Manchester, a 6th-tier English club with a 2,000 to 3,000 capacity stadium. What do? They invite dementia and Alzheimer's patients from the local community to sessions where they use old football memories to help trigger their thoughts and memories. That is what a football club should be. Not just about winning matches, but becoming a place where the local community gathers in times of joy and hardship. A sustainable grassroots system. The discussion considers the American college sports model, where students must balance academics and athletics. The 3A principle is emphasized: academics, arts, and athletics. But there's a crucial difference from the American pay-to-play system. In the US, youth sports are often expensive, limiting participation to wealthier families. The Malaysian model proposed here is different.
Berbalik kepada penglibatan majlis pembandaran tadi yang kita
mungkin
jawab.
di sinilah penglibatan mereka lebih ketara. That makes sense.
Untuk memastikan ada tempat untuk bermain kepada semua golongan, tak kira background pendapatan mereka.
This tackles one of Malaysian football's biggest problems. Talented kids from lower income families never get the chance because they can't afford academy fees. Here's where the discussion gets really interesting. How do we measure success? Most people would say when the national team qualifies for the Asian Cup, or when we win the AFF Championship. But that's wrong. At least that's wrong for the first 10 to 12 years. The success of this project doesn't lie in the national team's success. It lies in the level of Malaysian society's involvement in their respective football communities. Success is defined as 4 healthy divisions with no financial problems. Clubs operating within their means through sponsorships and activations, clubs owning their own stadiums. Financial stability, even if clubs make a loss some years, they can recover. If you have a balanced ecosystem that's stable for 3 years, to me that is successful enough.
Dan kalau kelab bola sepak hang berjaya membina hubungan kesefahaman dengan masyarakat setempat yang yang melihat masyarakat setempat ni di saat mereka bergembira, di saat mereka bersedih, they can think of their football club as the solution provider.
That's a success.
That's a success.
Okay.
The discussion makes a powerful comparison. Would you rather have 4 fully functioning leagues where the top earner makes 10,000 ringgit per month but gets paid on time every month, or a top division where the highest earner makes 100,000 ringgit per month but payment is uncertain? The answer is obvious. We want to set the priority right. As explicitly stated,
we want to set the priority right.
Right. Okay. Betul. Itu sangat-sangat betul. Saya secara peribadi, Faiz, aku tak peduli kalau kita tak qualify ACL ke, tak main AFC Cup ke, tak main ACL Elite, semua benda tu can come much later. I really don't care. The priority is the local leagues, cara kita set up local league, cara kita layan local league.
And competitive balance matters too. If 7 different teams win the league in the first 10 years, that's successful. If one team dominates for 10 years straight, something's wrong, even if that team does well in Asia. Perhaps the most inspiring part of this discussion is the vision for what Malaysian football media could cover. Instead of talking about stadium-like controversies, coach dismissals, unpaid wages, and expired player visas, imagine covering these stories. A volunteer coach from Slim River training players without pay, a teacher from Gelang Patah who teaches primary school during the day and coaches an amateur club in the evening, a top scorer who plays football at night but works as a police officer during the day, contributing to society. These are the heroes of grassroots football. These are the stories worth telling. As the discussion concludes, is it wishful thinking? Maybe. But as they say, channeling Elvis Presley.
But a man can dream, Faiz.
I'm